So my question just sort of focuses on two sort of different things we've been talking about. One, which is focusing on the decisions people make and how that influences how successful they are. And two, you made a comment saying, in America, we don't afford you, equality of wealth or things like that. We give you equality of access.
Well, equal access to rights, not equal
Okay,
access.
Okay.
There is a difference. What I mean by
Yes.
equal access to rights, obviously, is I mean that no one's going to get in your way, that the rights that you hold are the same as the rights that I hold. But when I'm and if somebody blocks them, then that's blocking your access. But what I don't mean is that a person who has $1 million in the bank is equally situated with a person with $5 in the bank, because obviously that's stupid.
Yes, and I would agree that that's stupid.
Good, we're in agreement on stupidity. All right.
Yeah, something we can agree on. I do want to sort of extend that into, I do personally believe that the number one factor in a lot of these sort of things are the decisions you make. But a lot of what affects your decisions is sort of where you start out, and sometimes that's like a long sort of cultural argument and things like that.
True.
But other times, it's something more basic like, well, if you weren't born into as wealthy a family, it's harder to go to a nicer college, and you're pressured
Yep.
to take another job so you don't finish high school, or you have to take care of, it's a single parent household, which you didn't decide, your parents made poor decision.
Yes.
But then you have to take care of your little siblings or things like that. So then it becomes harder for you to maintain your job and you lose that. So I think there's a lot of sort of things that
100%
affect
this
those
is correct, yeah.
three sort of key tickets you've talked about that are heavily influenced by factors entirely out of a person's
Well, I
control.
mean, not having babies out of wedlock is definitely not influenced by factors beyond your control. I mean, unless you have uncontrollable genitalia. So the fact is that just because you had a single mom doesn't mean that you have to follow in the pattern. Bottom line is that when you have cycles of poverty, somebody's going to have to break that at some point, and that's going to take an act of will. When it comes to graduating from high school, the number of people who are dropping out of high school because they need to, support their family is incredibly low in the United States. But if that's the case, then I'll give you an example. There's a listener of mine who's a young woman, I think she's probably 18 years old, who emailed me the other day, and she said, you have your 3 rules, right? No, don't have babies before marriage and finish high school and then get a job.